Now it's time for Talking with Joe. Joe Rose is live from the WQAM studios this morning. Joe, Heat wrapping up the first half of the season Wednesday night with a win, so on a positive note there. But 26-30 heading into the All-Star break. Not exactly fantastic there. So what grade would you give this team now at the halfway point in the season?
Well, I'd give them a C- right now because I thought they'd be inside in a little better position, but they've had some bad losses against some bad teams. I think that's the biggest part. They've got 4 or 5 losses, and most of them at home against bad teams. That's a disappointment for me. I mean, they're not a great team. I don't even look at this West Coast. They've done a great job beating Portland and then beating Dallas last night. It's just, they just don't have enough. I mean, Dwayne Wade last night ends up turning back the clock again and having a nice evening. They shoot the ball well. But because of those bad losses, I keep their grade down. I mean, they could still graduate and get through. I mean, C- will work. C- will work.
But just barely. That's just getting by.
I thought they'd be, there's a lot of bad teams in the NBA right now. I thought they'd be above 500 by a little bit, and they're not.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue to talk about D-Wade, because you mentioned that last night he sort of turned back the clock a little bit. We like to see this during his one last dance season. But, of course, he's already looking to the future and the possibility of owning a team at some point, kind of, you know, like Derek Jeter, another local owner here in town now. So while he said he would like to see a team return to Seattle, he says his first interest would be in some sort of ownership here with the Heat. What kind of owner do you think D-Wade would be? I love this idea.
Well, listen, I think Dwayne, because of what he's meant to this organization, if there's a guy that could get a very, 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 I said it 3 times, small piece of a team, because let's face it, Lauren, these teams are really valuable. NBA teams have exploded with these new TV contracts. We saw what the Clippers went for a couple of years ago, and all that's done is blown up the value of every team in the NBA, made a lot of guys from hundreds of millions to billions now. So, I mean, to have a small piece of a team, it's still going to be real expensive. But, yeah, if Dwayne got 1 or 2% of a team and part of it was as a working partner, I think it'd be great. Listen, having that guy involved would be a no-brainer, especially here. Much more here than watching him go out to a new team in Seattle when he's in Miami. He's a 305 guy.
Stay put.
He's got a great relationship with Mickey and his son. That will be very interesting to see if that's something he wants to do. But you got to believe, like Dan Marino, Dwayne's going to be on the payroll for a long time, whether he has a piece of that team or not, right?
I like the sound of that. We like D-Wade here in the 305. Joe Rose, we will talk to you in the next hour. Thank you, sir.
Lauren, you were so strong and such a topic yesterday. Thank you so much for opening up, sharing your family
Just in
stuff.
time for
thank you. I
a
mean
day of love, Joe.
Everybody goes, just a regular. Happy Valentine's Day to you and the rest of the girls on the show today.
Thanks,
I hope
Joe.
you get the you-know-what spoiled out of you today. Chocolates, diamonds, dinner, flowers.
You're taking notes for yourself for your life, your loved ones. All right, Joe.
I'm all over it tonight.
Good job.
I am all over. Thank you.
Bye, Joe.
Goodbye. Thank you.